Is it illegal to take a video while you're driving? Like, if I post this and I'm obviously driving, is that, like, dumb? Hi. I've been procrastinating coming on here. I may put it here, actually. I've been procrastinating filming at all, period. I don't know why. I think I've just been out of the habit. This video is going to be super boring. So, if you're watching this, feel free to find something else to do at the same time. I'm just going to chat for a little bit because I have just been so conflicted, and so I think partially just chatting it out will make it easier for me to... I've just become a verbal processor, and I want to process this out loud. Okay, so thought number one is it's hard for me to vlog when I'm like not in a good mood. And part of that is because I don't know if this is where I want to start, but it's fine. Part of this is because I don't want to just like share my emotions online. Like I see people do that online, and I don't think it's a good look. Like, I have real outlets where I can deal with my emotions, process them privately. So I don't want this to be like my emotional outlet. But at the same time, I do think that there's some level of like realness when you watch someone's vlog where it's like you want to see their thoughts. You want to see what they're thinking about and how they're processing things. And so like there is some element of good to that. So I think it's just a challenge for me to kind of like find that balance of like still sharing but not like processing online. And yeah, that's kind of my first thought. And then just this week has been a lot of emotions, so I didn't want to like vlog because I felt like I was just going to have emotions, which is fine. So now I've like processed them a lot more, and I'm able to share them more, I guess. Well, I don't know if I'll even get to sharing them. So right now, you may be wondering, why am I wearing this hat? And the answer is that I need to look at my GPS. Actually, I don't know. I think I went the wrong way. Okay, I got it figured out. I'm wearing this hat because we are moving, obviously. And, I didn't have anywhere else to put this hat. I was scared that it was going to get crushed. So I put it on my head. Okay. Good. Glad we got that sorted. The last few weeks I was at camp. It was so fun. I got to see a lot of friends, just connect with people, and it was definitely good, but it was definitely like, wow, I miss my husband and I miss my life. So it's been good to be back with my husband, but it definitely does not feel like I'm back in my life because we're like in between living in an empty house and living at his parents' house, which is also just like has its own pros and cons. And because the reason why we're living at his parents' house is because he's already started working at his new job, which is he basically has to stay at his parents' house in order to get to it. So I'm driving to his parents right now. He's driving his car behind me. So, yeah. So we have like a 2-hour drive basically to get there from our house. So we're kind of in this weird in-between stage, right? We haven't moved yet. We're actually hoping we applied to a house that we want to rent. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to rent that and move in a week from today or a week from tomorrow. So we have at least 1 week, and then if that house doesn't work out, our like second option, we'd have to wait longer, maybe like another week. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just been hard the last few weeks because we haven't had like any form of community. We've had a lot of friends. Like, I've been on the East Coast, like got to see a lot of old friends, things like that. There's just no sense of normalcy. There's no sense of community. And then even the months before that were hard for like a similar reason. So like, we are definitely just so looking forward to like settling down and like trying to get to know people in the new area that we're living in. It just feels like it's been a long time since we've had like good friends, local good friends. So yeah, those are probably the big emotions that I was referencing. And this is another thing going back to what I was saying earlier about how it's hard to vlog sometimes. I think part of the reason why I started doing long form vlogging, well, quite a few reasons actually. The first one is like, it feels easier to connect with friends and family, and I like this form of connecting with people. And it feels like I can just actually more legitimately than I could before, like, share my life with my friends and family. So I really do love that. And then of course, just kind of like the cool thing is like being able to share that with other people too. Especially like I'm a Christian, and so like wanting to share what Christian living looks like, just on like a week-to-week basis, I think is really cool. And eventually, if we end up like, I don't know, like just being able to share that on a platform, I think is a really cool opportunity, especially like in long form content, because I think that I hate short form content, where it just feels like a waste. And I feel like I want something that's actually feels more real, I guess, than Instagram Reels, or TikTok or whatever. Like something that actually feels like this is someone's life and not just like 20 seconds that I can decide if I want to listen to it or not. Yeah. That being said, like some weeks are just not worth, like this week has just kind of been like crazy, and I feel like it's not really been worth sharing. So then and then I'm just kind of torn of like creating content out of nothing. Like, oh, let me just like make a video about it. And it's like, I don't want to waste people's time. I don't think that is beneficial. And that's not, again, like if my goal is sharing Christian living and just sharing like lifestyle content, although mundane is great and real, it's also just kind of like maybe a waste of time. in that sense. Like, there's literally nothing normal about this week. It just feels like kind of surviving. So yeah, that's where I stand on that. Okay, even kind of going back to like the community, not having a community this week and for the last few weeks, like that's another aspect of Christian living that I'm very passionate about. And like, I think it's really important to be living in community, to not just like see the people that you see Christians on Sunday and then never again, like, but actually like cultivating life with people. And I want to be able to show that. Like, I'm thinking like of my hospitality vlog that I did recently and things like that. So I can't share that if we're not in community. So again, it's just things like that that have made it kind of hard to like even like consider posting this week. But then I kind of just was like, well, I want to like talk this out and like think through it and explain it. So here I am doing that. There's a couple podcasts that we listen to on Christian living, and actually Alec was just listening to one on Friday when we were coming up, and he had like already listened to like half the podcast, and I was like falling asleep, so he put it on, and I ended up listening to a lot more of it. And it was like a podcast directed to men, so I normally don't listen to that podcast. And they were just talking about hospitality, like how men should be showing hospitality, families and men. And it was just so good about like, the aspect that was really good was that they were talking about like our church, our community has not always been super hospitable. Like, we've made it that way. We've been hospitable, and we've created people who are hospitable, and we've encouraged people to be hospitable to the point that now we have a community that is very hospitable. And like, they just talk a lot about how to cultivate it in your community. And so that's something that we have done and want to do in our when we move, obviously, like, fresh start. We're going to know like 2 people there. So, yeah, just like, how do we cultivate this? And we've just been talking about that a lot, and hopefully, I don't know, I think too, it's like one thing to like talk about, oh, in an ideal situation, like, we're going to have all these friends and we're going to have people over and whatever. And we definitely have goals in those areas. Like, we want to have a certain amount of people over every week, or like a month or whatever. But then it's like, okay, well, is that like, are we going to be able to do that? What's that going to look like? More logistics side, like just kind of like hoping and praying for that. So yeah, next week I am literally doing nothing. I'm trying to get a job now. So that's new. I'm going to have to put the phone down. Yeah, so next week, I'm trying to connect about getting a job. I don't know if that's actually going to end up happening next week. And just kind of like helping out around the farm. I think I'm making dinner a few nights. And family living, communal, what do you even call that? Multigenerational living. It's challenging. I'm going to be honest. That's the kind of stuff that I don't really want to share on here, but more just on the level of like, because I legitimately think that it's like, it's challenging because we live in such a personalized society. Like, so much of our society is like, our evenings are centered around us, right? And like, what I want to do, I want to watch a movie, so I'm gonna watch a movie, right? And it's like, especially if you're in college or post college, like, that's your life. Like, you don't have to deal with, well, what does everyone else want to watch, you know? Or, oh, actually, like, we need to help do this thing on the farm, right? Like, it's hard because you're living with other people. And honestly, I am just not used to that. So, I don't know. I don't want to, like, necessarily speak poorly of it, because I think it's my own willingness to, I don't know, kneel in humility, like, you know, like, I'm not, and that's just something that I really need to work on. And there's nothing like being in close quarters with a lot of people that makes you realize that it's really easy to be, like, sweet and kind when it's just, like, me and my husband, and, like, willing to help too when it's, like, there's only 2 dishes, so it's easy. And I definitely, actually, there's something, this is what I will leave on. There was a lot of people that were really great and helpful at camp, you know, adults that I love and got a lot of good advice from and things like that, and I think I poured into a lot of people that was good too, you know. And there was this one girl there who I did not know at all before, so I had just met her. We'd connected on a lot of things, similar hobbies and things like that, and she kind of came from, like, a country background, and we were talking one night just about, like, sharing emotions and, like, how, like, kind of what I was just saying earlier, like, sometimes, like, venting your emotions is not actually the best course of action. That sometimes, like, you need to get over it. And she was saying this, and she just said this phrase that has just been sticking with me for a long time. She said, sometimes you just gotta white knuckle it. And I like, love that. And I feel like no one is saying that to women anymore. This girl was like 17, and I'm like, I love it. I need to hear that. Like, I need to white knuckle it. And the fact that, like, someone so young was saying that, and just, like, I felt convicted, like, that was good. Yeah. Okay. I'll leave you guys on that.